Hey guys, welcome to my channel Sengupta's Creation. I am Yona Sengupta, your host and your coach, and today we will be doing the fifth part, the question answers part of the topic friction. And let us start. I will directly go to the text. Okay, so first we are doing here the exercise of friction. The first is choose the correct option. Okay. Now, friction always dash. Now, friction, what does it do? Now, it helps the motion, opposes the motion, both of these, and none of these. Please answer me. Okay, okay, okay. So, the correct answer is number B. Okay, okay, opposes the motion. Next, we will move on. Sorry, just a second. Next is which one of these characteristics have a smooth surface? It has four options. First, less frictional force. Number two, more frictional force. Number C, sometimes less and sometimes more force. And number D, all of the above. So, what will be the answer? Yes, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct that it will be number A, less frictional force. Next, we'll move on that friction is a dash. What is friction? Friction is a contact force, friction is a non-contact force, friction is a magnetic force, and friction is none of these. So the answer of this will be number A. Okay, let me see. What can I get? Number, what is it? Again, it is number A. Friction is a contact force. Text here. Okay, so this was it. Next, we'll move on to um, the fourth one, that what kind of uh, motion, what kind of substances are known as lubricants? The first one is increase friction. Next is decrease friction. The next one is increase or decrease friction, and number and number D is none of these. So the answer for this will be B, decrease friction. This is what it does. right? Next, we will move on to the number 5, that fluid are dash. Fluid are gases, fluid are liquids, fluid are gases and liquids both, and none of these. So the answer for this will be number C. Gases and liquids, they are both. Okay. Next is on what force, um, on what force of friction depends. The first one is smoothness of surface, number B roughness of surface, number C inclination of surface, and number D all of the above. So the answer for D is all of the above. So all of these. Then we'll move on to number 7. Now friction is a or an evil. Number B, foe. Number C, both A and B means both evil and foe. And number D, none. So the answer for this will be C. It is both evil and foe. Trying to make it colorful so that it looks great. Okay. Next comes lubricants. Dash. The first one is increased friction. Number B is reduced friction. Number C is both A and B means both increased friction and reduced friction, and none. So the answer for this will be number B. Number B. Reduce friction. Okay. Next we will move on to number 9. Okay, number 9. What is number 9? Rolling friction is smaller than dash. Now, rolling friction is smaller than all of the above, because I have shown you in a topic where it was written that sliding friction sorry starting friction is the most, then in the middle comes sliding friction, and then comes the rolling friction. Fluid friction we don't generally say it, so there is no. So the answer for this will be number D, right? Just a second. Number G. Okay. Next is number 10, which is the shape of the airplane is like. What is it? It is a bird, car, dog, or is it all? The answer will be number A. It is like a bird. Okay. Now, I hope you can see here. Now, these are the answers of the total. Let me, so that you can take a screenshot of it. I think I have it here. This is number 1 page, and this is of day 5. This is. Yes, here are the 10 questions. Okay, so it ends. Next, there comes, here is a YouTube link. You can go, and these are the NCERT questions. And next comes here the assignment question. Okay, I have some assignment questions for you all. I will discuss. Okay, so you see that here is written that what is the effect of friction or force. Okay, right? So the answer will be that the force of friction opposes the motion of an object. So what happens is causing moving objects to lose energy and slow down. So when objects move through a fluid such as air or water, the fluid exerts a frictional force on the moving object. Here is the answer for you all. A little smaller so that I can write the answers. Okay, this is of number 1. Okay, next we will move on to the number 2 question. The number 2 question is, what causes friction between two surfaces in contact? Let us see the answer. Now, what causes friction between two surfaces in contact? So, friction is caused due to irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. So, even the smoothest surfaces have minute irregularities in them, and these irregularities of the two surfaces interlock into each other and create friction. Okay, so understanding. Okay, so this is what causes friction between two surfaces in contact. Okay, so here is the answer. Let me just write it down here so that you can see it. This is number 2. Now, here comes number 3. How does lubrication reduce friction? How does lubrication reduce friction? I need to know the answer from you all because I won't be there in your exams. Okay. Now, how does lubrication reduce friction? Lubrication reduces the heat generated when two surfaces are in motion. Now, it smoothens the process by forming a film between the two surfaces that reduce friction. Okay, and thus improves performance and efficiency. And this is number 3. So, sorry. Okay, so the next, I hope you can see the question, which is on what principle do ball bearings work? Okay, let us see the answer. On what principle do ball bearing works? Now, this is very easy question. A ball bearing works on the principle that rolling friction is less. I'm sorry, is less than sliding friction, isn't it? This is number four. I have your answers. So you can take a look at the answer here. Yes, here are the answers, all of them. Yes, can you see this? Assignment questions. What is the effect? I will read it again. What is the effect of friction on motion? Answer is the force of friction opposes the motion of an object, causing moving objects to lose energy and slow down. Then, when objects move through a fluid such as air or water, the fluid exerts a frictional force on the moving object. Number two, what causes the friction between two surfaces in contact? The answer is friction is caused due to irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. And even the smoothest surfaces have minute irregularities in them, and these irregularities of the two surfaces interlock into each other and create friction. Number three, how does lubrication reduce friction? Now, lubrication reduces the heat generated when two surfaces are in motion. Now, it smoothens the process by forming a film between two surfaces that reduces friction and thus improves performance and efficiency. Number four is on what principle do ball bearings works? A ball bearing works on the principle that rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. Okay, so now we have already done this four topics, right? We have four questions of assignments. Now, if you have any question, you can ask me. I'll answer to you. I'll give you a break of 5 minutes. I'll just start. Okay. Okay. So here are some more questions. We have already done the previous questions of the assignments, and now we will continuing. These are some questions from the CBSE NCERT solutions, or even you can say CBSE the science book. Okay. So we will start of doing it. So the first question here is that friction opposes the dash between the surfaces in contact with each other. So the answer for this will be friction opposes the relative motion between the surfaces in contact with each other. Why? Because by the definition of friction, we already know that friction opposes the relative motion between the surfaces, right? In contact with each other. So this is why this answer. Next comes friction depends on the dash of surfaces. So what will be the answer? The answer will be nature. Now nature, the friction depends on the nature of the two surfaces. Why? Because friction depends on the nature of the surfaces in contact. Next comes friction produces dash. What does friction produces? Friction produces heat. Uh, as if surfaces of different bodies in contact are sliding with each other due to friction, heat and will be that will be generated. The next question here is the sprinkling of powder on the carom board dash friction reduces, right? So the answer will be reduces. Why? Lubricants can reduce friction between surfaces, so that is why we give lubricants or oils in machines, you see on the hinges of the door and many more. Next, this was number one question. Now we will move on to the next question, which is about four children. Sorry, number E is also. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Where did I end? Yes, heats. Now, next we will move on to the number D, where is the sprinkling of powder on the carom board dash friction reduces friction. Here I will already told. Now number E is sliding friction is dash than the static friction. Now sliding friction is less than the static friction, as sliding friction is less than the static friction because it is relatively easy to push an object which in motion than setting motion of a stationary object. And we have already known that in this question that static friction is the most powerful, and then comes the sliding friction, and then comes the rolling friction. Okay. Next, we will move on to number two, which I was talking about, that four children were asked to arrange forces due to rolling, static, and sliding friction in decreasing order. Their arrangements are given below. Choose the correct arrangement. So here it is given, and I have already told you what is the answer. It is said in decreasing order, means it will be from the most powerful to the less powerful. So it will be uh, rolling, sliding, and static. So here what is it? Rolling, no, this two will be always be cut. The answer will be, oh sorry, it is in decreasing order, right? So it will be static, sliding, and rolling, I think here is a type error, because decreasing, I thought that it was from to the bigger one to the smaller one, and in but here is something wrong with the answer. See, it's okay. You see what is the explanation given here. The explanation is given that static friction is greater than sliding friction. So due to this reason, it is relatively easy to push an object which is in motion rather than the setting motion of the same object. And rolling friction is smaller than sliding friction due to this reason, and it is easy to pull luggage with wheels than pulling the same luggage without wheels. So this is the answer. Okay, so next I will move on to the next question. Where is it? Yes. So the next question, as you can see that here it is written that Alida runs her toy car on a dry marble floor and wet marble floor, newspaper and towel spread on the floor. Now the force of friction acting on the car on different surfaces in increasing order will be, there are options. Number A is wet marble, dry marble, newspaper and towel. Number B is newspaper, then towel, then dry marble floor, and then wet marble floor. And the number C is towel, then newspaper, then dry marble floor, and then wet marble. And number D, wet marble floor, then it is dry marble floor, towel, and then it comes to newspaper, isn't it? So what is the answer? The answer is number A. Why A? The answer will be number A, which is wet marble floor, then dry marble floor, then newspaper and towel. Why? Because friction depends on the surfaces in contact, and surfaces with the more irregular surface is wet marble floor, and is well experienced more friction, and arrangement in the increasing order of irregularity is wet marble floor, dry marble floor, newspaper and towel. Next there is a question. I'm sorry. Here is it is the answer. And next there is the question that suppose your writing desk is tilted a little and a book kept on it starts sliding down. Show the direction of the frictional force acting on it. Now I will show you a picture which will help you very much. Here it is the picture. I'm sorry. Here it is the picture. You see, this is the inclined tilted desk, this part. See my cursor, and here is the book. It will go in the direction of this, and the friction will oppose it, and the direction will be, if it goes to the north it will go to the west, it goes to the south it will go to the north, it will go to the if it is east then the friction will be of west, and it goes on like that. It is the direction of the friction is along the surface. Next, we will move on to number 5, which is you spill a bucket of soapy water on a marble floor accidentally. Now, would it make easier to or more difficult for you to walk on a floor, and why? First of all, it will be very, very difficult for us to walk on the floor, because while walking, when our feet pushes the ground backwards, what happens? The floor pushes us in the forward direction, and friction plays the most important role in this process. So when we spill a bucket of soapy water on a marble floor, friction between our feet and the floor decreases, and the force responsible for pushing us forward weakness. So therefore thus it can be told that it becomes more difficult for you to walk on the floor. Next is number 6 question, where is, this is the answer, you can look. Next is explain why sportsmen use shoes with spikes. Now, while walking, when our feet push the ground backwards, it is the same answer, just in a different way written. That while walking, when our feet push the ground backwards, the floor pushes us in the forward direction, right? So, friction plays the most important role in this process. Also, as sportsmen use shoes with spikes to increase the interlocking of the surfaces in contact, which in turn increases the friction and gives them a better grip, right? Next, there is a question you will see that Iqbal has to push a lighter box and Seema has to push a heavier box on the same floor. Now, who will apply a larger force and why? Now, the answer is that friction depends on the weight of an object also, right? So, a heavier object will experience more friction because the surfaces will be pressed harder, which will result in the greater interlocking of irregularities of surfaces in contact, and thus will require larger force to move the heavier object, right? So Seema will have a lot of difficulty. Okay, next question. Here is the answer for you. And here the next question is that explain why sliding friction is less than static friction. Okay, now when the irregularities the between two contact surfaces, you see that surfaces get interlocked, it results in a resistance known as friction. And in sliding friction, the time for which the surfaces are in contact is very small, and therefore the interlocking of irregularities does not create much resistance. And as less force is required to overcome the resistance, sliding friction is less than static friction. So, this is the answer for you all. And next comes that number 9, give examples to show that friction is both a friend and a foe. Now, friction as a friend, what is it? Friction helps in walking us, right? And I'll give you two examples each. First is friction helps in walking, and we are able to write with a pen, or even hold the pen on due to on paper due to friction, right? Next comes that friction as a foe. What happens? Friction leads to loss of energy as heat. I've already told you it also causes noise pollution, wastage of energy, and because of friction, the tires and soles of the shoes wear out, tear and wear. There was also a point, right? Next, we will move on to number 10. Question number 10. Explain why objects moving in fluids must have a special shapes. Okay, the answer will be as it happens between the ground and the feet. What happens? A body moving through the fluid also experiences an opposing force called drag force that depends on the nature of the surface and the shape of the body. Now, by giving objects special, shape, this drag force can be minimized also. So you see, here is the answer. So now this is the end of my class, and this is the end of my class. I would like to thank you all of you that you have watched my classes. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel, and please hit the bell icon so that whenever I am online, you can also be online and join with me in my classes. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye. Thank you.